Welcome back. If you just joined us, you're watching the News at 10 live on Channels Television Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai tests positive for coronavirus, goes into isolation as the total confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Nigeria rises. President Buhari gets briefing from the Minister of Health and NCDC Director General on COVID-19 response efforts, encourages them to keep doing the right thing. Governor Sanwo-Olu takes delivery of new 110-bed isolation and treatment center in Lagos, says decision on total lockdown in the city will be taken when it becomes necessary. And coronavirus death toll in Europe rises above 20,000 as the United States and other countries battle to curb the spread of the disease. So our website, channelstv.com, has more information on our top stories and others. Subscribe and watch Channels Television's live stream on YouTube and other social media platforms using your mobile device browser, or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS devices from the respective stores. You can also watch us via your smart TV platforms on Apple TV, Android TV, Fire and Roku TV. The Federal Capital Territory Administration is considering a lockdown in the nation's capital as part of measures to curtail the spread of coronavirus in Abuja. Speaking to journalists during the fumigation of Wuse Market, the Minister of State for the FCT, Dr. Ramatu Aliyu, says the administration could be forced to take the action if traders fail to cooperate in the effort to fumigate the city. The administration is fumigating markets, public places as part of measures to curbing COVID-19.
Wuse Market, a popular shopping spot for many residents of the Federal Capital Territory, is under lock and key as officials of the Federal Capital Territory arrive to fumigate the area. The FCT authorities are proposing to fumigate the major markets, parks and religious centers in the city center and other satellite towns in the territory to mitigate the spread of the coronavirus.
We might just leave some few central markets, where people would pick stock. And eventually, too, we know the federal government is coming with palliative measures, food, so there will be centers where we'll be able to do. FCT is also trying to stock across the Federal Capital Territory. We have 14 cases as of today, I think, in the Federal Capital Territory. So, God willing, we'll be ready, because if you say people should stay at home and you encourage them to come to a particular center to pick, it will still be chaotic. So the arrangement is not going to be the massive, show we are going to see. There will be centers at ward levels where coordinators will be able to live and drop in front of houses.
The officials get to work, covering every corner of the market, while the minister appeals to the traders to uphold personal hygiene even after the fumigation. After several hours, traders in essential commodities are allowed back into the market, but not without going through the appropriate preventive measure.
We are fumigating the entire market. We are ensuring social distancing. The market is 85% closed to ensure that only essential commodities like food items, medical supplies, and essential things needed by families and medical supplies are being made available to the Nigerian public. Everything is being done in line with the ministerial instruction and his team to ensure that FCT is safe and we don't have escalation beyond what we have. The market is, as you can see now, almost partially completely closed. We have almost 85% of the shops closed, except for those who are selling food items, medical supplies, and essential commodities for families.
Similar exercises are carried out in other markets in the nation's capital, including Gwarimpa and Kado markets.
Well, for residents in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, they've continued to go about their daily activities with a considerable compliance with the state government's directive on social distancing, as the Ogun State Task Force embarks on an effort to monitor the compliance in markets, motor parks and other areas.
It seems to be business as usual in the Abeokuta area of Ogun State. Residents go about their daily activities and the markets remain open despite the state government's directive as regards efforts to curb COVID-19.
Everybody, they are washing hands the way everybody when they enter markets. we don't need to shut market down, because I believe that hungry will kill many people, and then many people will cry for it.
A task force established to ensure compliance moves around parks, markets and religious centers. In this mosque in Adaton area, the worshippers gathered are more than the permitted number.
I have 25 years, sir.
I said count those who are there. If you had counted the people in the mosque.
These are the people I found when I came.
Okay, how many are you?
Count them yourself.
The commander of the task force warns residents against flouting the government's directives.
People should be advised. People should learn from this thing, that this thing is beyond anybody. It's only God that can assist us. They should stay at home. That is the best solution to this thing. Stay at home. Quarantine yourself. Let everybody quarantine himself. You understand? So there's no point roaming about. The federal government has given some palliative that some people should stay at home. The state government have done so. So I don't know why people should not stay at home.
Ogun State, the closest neighbor to Lagos, has recorded 3 confirmed cases of the virus, and efforts have been intensified to ensure its containment.
Staying safe is a priority for many Nigerians at a time like this, and perhaps that's why a few are adhering to the directive given by the Lagos State government for everyone to stay at home and avoid large gathering. This next report by our correspondent Victoria Dewu explores the ways people are coping with the directive.
This would have been the case on a normal day. This is the situation now. Vehicular movement apparently is on the low. Where then is everyone? Now, staying at home can be a daunting task if there isn't much to do. While some work from home,
that's exactly what I'm doing.
Others carry on their businesses from their homes. Mrs. Bola Adegoke believes this is an opportunity to spend time with family and rest.
A time of rest, one, and also to have my people around. My daughter came from school. Oza is working from home. But it has really afforded me rest.
But staying with the children who have been home for a while now is not always easy.
How many lambs?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
It has been a bit tough, you know, it's been a while, except for weekends that we have this luxury of time to stay together. But having this done on a regular basis now, you know, as for Monday, it's been a bit taxing, but what can we do?
Data, electricity and water can be a comfort at a time like this.
Service providers really need to step up, especially at this time. I've spent a lot on data. I've had to switch from one network to another just to get quality service to be able to work.
Right now that we are home, no water, no power supply, no water supply, it's frustrating.
The lockdown is also an opportunity for some to look inwards and become creative.
Well, I've just been at home trying to make the best use of the opportunity, and I just thought of making some masks to sell. So while at home, I'll just create stuff for protection, masks, and then sell. So this is what I've been doing so far. Basically, I use three different materials, 1, 2, and 3 to make it.
As the number of infected persons continue to rise, citizens have been warned to keep a safe distance from people and, most of all, stay at home. Victoria Idowu, Channels Television News.
Listen, wash your hands, stay at home.
And stay alive. The deadly coronavirus has affected thousands of people the world over. Its impact on the global economy is forcing business leaders to take a lead in providing solutions to the evolving fallout. Only recently, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, stated that the global economy is now in recession following the shutdown of economic activities across the world. But while the Minister of Finance thinks it may take the country about 6 months to get into recession if the pandemic continues, economists are proffering solutions on how the nation can overcome the a likely recession.
The number of persons affected by the coronavirus continues to increase on a daily basis, with death rates surging. In Nigeria, the rise in cases of the disease have left the government with no choice than to take measures which have resulted in the partial shutdown of businesses. To this effect, intervention packages have been announced by the central bank, which is also mobilizing the private sector to support government efforts. The bank has also announced a 100 billion naira loan to pharmaceutical companies, all targeted towards containing the spread of the virus and its fallout.
Given the continuing impact of the disease on global supply chains, the Central Bank of Nigeria will increase its intervention in boosting local manufacturing and import substitution by another 1 trillion naira across all critical sectors of the Nigerian economy.
Furthermore, the federal government is also reducing the 2020 budget by about 1.5 trillion naira, as well as a cut in the oil benchmark to $30 per barrel. In the meantime, the International Monetary Fund has warned that the global economy will slip into a recession and could be worse than what was experienced in 2008. Despite worries about the effect of the coronavirus pandemic on the economy, the Minister of Finance insists that Nigeria's finances have hit hit red yet.
No, we're not broke. Are we buoyant? We're not buoyant as well. We have resources to manage, and we have been able to also find new sources of funds that we're able to realize very quickly to help Nigeria stay stable.
It is projected that Nigeria could lose up to $20 billion from crude oil sales, which represents 85% of its export, as fuel prices continue to fall.
As we know that
some economic analysts are of the opinion that the likely economic downturn provides an opportunity for investment, especially in bonds.
It's a good time for the government to say, listen, we're raising a 50 trillion bond, all right, for example, that's going to be domestic. And we want as many billionaires in Nigeria to invest in this. It's going to be a kind of patriotic bond, but we also have assurance that these are the public sector issues that we want to fix. It's a good time to fix the health sector. We can see just how vulnerable we are in the health sector. It's a good time to fix education. It's a good time to fix the environment. It's a good time to fix, food security.
The COVID-19 pandemic no doubt has taken a toll on the economies of most nations, and Nigeria is not left out. Many say a major lesson to be learned is for the government to fast-track the diversification of the economy beyond oil to avoid future shocks.
When the news at 10 returns, COVID-19 remains in focus as we further examine its impact on the economy now and in the days ahead. We have the CEO of Kairos Capital, Mr. Sam Chidoka, to examine this.